Hi, my name is Timothy Garton. I'm going to go over today a little bit about the project that I've worked on and explain some of the motivation. I won't necessarily get into the results. We can refer back to the report for that. But I kind of want to give you a little reason as to why I chose this project and what the motivation behind it was and what our end goal is as far as an organization. So our motivation is the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers is the organization I work for, and we deliver software products and expertise to both military engineering and civil engineering aspects. One of the big areas in the military engineering is how do we provide a research area and a training area without actually putting our soldiers in danger. That's a big part of it now with us having to have people deployed on a regular basis is how do we keep them safe and how do we route them through areas with dangers without them actually getting exposed to any of these different dangers. The dangers we're going to refer to as stimuli. The stimuli is something that impacts a warfighter in some manner that would cause them to make a decision. So the first thing I do is I define the problem is how do we represent a real life warfare in a simulated environment. It's very difficult to create an environment to where a person feels the same effects and makes the same responses in a simulated environment as they would in a real combat situation where instinct kicks in. But we have to create an environment for that. And we have to create that with simulation software. And the reason for that is so that we can provide a safe environment, but the other reason is because we want to be able to create an experience where they're exposed to a situation they may not necessarily ever have been in or have the opportunity to be in. And we want them to have that opportunity before they get into that situation and have to learn on the fly. And the way we do that is we've developed multiple different kinds of simulation software. This here is some imagery for the project that I worked on for this class. This project has walls and hallways and fires and multiple different things, particles, leaks with electrical shorts, dim areas, hidden hallways. All of these things are things that you will experience inside of a building. But the big advantage is that once you have this environment, you can move that out to be, is it a road, or you can expand this out to where it's a full city. You can create a lot of different scenes based on this same basic architecture. So our main goal was to produce the software that was realistic, something that they could work on in their safe environment without having to go into the dangers of a warfare environment. One of our future things we want to do is once we build this environment, we have all this stimuli and it's realistic, we want to create a method to where we actually train algorithms to say, how do we recognize, based on patterns that people have done inside of the training environment, real life situations so that we can provide manuals and guidance before they ever get exposed to that in the real world. That way, their heads-up displays and their HoloLenses and everything that they carry in their rucksack, they'll now be able to say, I have something to tell me a direction to go, or tell me how to get out of this situation. Now, in this specific study, we had some mixed conclusions in the responses. Some of the stimuli ended up being fairly represented well. Some of it didn't. But what this did is this gave us a learning environment for now we have lessons learned to move forward to create a software environment that is more realistic. I now know from my first attempt what is assumed to be a proper stimuli versus what is something that was fake and they didn't recognize what it was. So moving forward, we can enhance this environment and begin to develop things that are more realistic and produce better software. And in our future algorithms, we're going to be taking and feeding into the algorithms instead of keeping it out and just training. We want to actually use it to direct people as well. And a big part of this is I'd like to thank and acknowledge the people that worked with me on this project. I had multiple co-workers and people that were able to assist me. They were my participants. They weren't bribed in any way. They came and they offered their time and allowed me to be able to have an environment that I could test my software and come to a conclusion about what the next step is we can do to make this a better, safer environment for our warfighter. And I'd like to thank them for that opportunity to make this software better. So as we move forward, this will continue to get better and better, and we'll continue to create an environment that makes our warfighters the most experienced and the safest there are around. Thank you.